Do you wish your child to be creative? Do you wish your child to think out of the box, not just like anybody else, like everybody else, but think out of the box? Then let's see how you can actually nurture the creativity in the child. Even if you do not attempt to keep encouraging the creativity, keep increasing the creativity, at least what you can do so as you are not hindering your child's creative growth in his life. Hello, this is Sujaya, and today we're going to discuss on what is creativity and how your child, your infant, your toddler is already creative, and what actually, again, what actually the usual parent, 95 to 98% of parent does, 98% parents do, that is maybe not so much necessary for your child's creative growth, for your child's development in this creative aspect of life. Right? So yes, let's talk about what's creativity. What do you think is creativity? Creativity is creativity. Is the ability to create something, right? Even if your toddler, usually at the age of 2 or 2.5 years, when your toddler is making senseless, according to you, senseless sounds with his voice, even that could be creativity. He is creating sound through his vocal cord, right? He is exercising his skill that he has acquired at that age. Or maybe when your infant, a 9-month-old or 10-month-old, who is crawling to the kitchen and started banging on the utensils, or they just dropped a glass, sound was created, and he's repeating to drop the glass just to hear to that sound. Because there is a mix of curiosity and creativity in such attempts. You cannot say this activity is only for creativity, or this activity is only for curiosity, this activity is only for problem solving. No, it doesn't happen that way. There could be creative problem solvers also, right? So usually it's a mix of creativity and curiosity for a child, and various other attributes for a child who is exercising his innate skill that he has acquired at any phase of his life, be it infancy or toddlerhood or preschooler or 6-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old or 7-year-old or 8-year-old, at any phase of his or her life, right? So now when the 2-year-old is introduced to coloring, usually all these things that you again buy in market, that's widely available in market, the copy color book that mandates the child to color the other picture, the picture that is blank with the same colors that in the previous copy, right? Something like that. So there's a picture that's already colored with using certain colors, and the child is supposed to color the blank picture using the same colors. Then that means the child is able to follow instructions. That means the child is able to pick the right color, which is being mandated through that book, right? And yes, another very, very important stuff is color between the lines. Color between the lines. Why should the child start to color between the lines right when the child has started to pick up a crayon? Why should the color use the same colors right when this child has started to explore what color is? Right? The child has just started to pick up colors. The child is actually trying to understand, what is this color? What is this cylindrical shape object? How is this giving color on my paper? Right? Your child is first bombarded with all those thoughts even before your child has got the time to process these thoughts, to understand what's happening with the crayon when he holds it and he presses it or he puts it lightly. What is happening? What are the various different shades that I'm able to get with just one crayon on a piece of paper? Are you giving the time for your child to explore this, to study this, the science behind colors and whatever? And then even before your child is given time for all this, your child is instructed or mandated to color between the lines with the right color. Color the sky with blue, color water with blue, color apple with red, color tomato with red, color brinjal with violet, right? And there are so many different colors of brinjal actually. And even there are even black tomatoes. If you didn't know, just go around and Google them. And there are also different colors of capsicum, right? Then why is the adult mandating the child to use a specific color for this, for a specific object? Is water blue in color? Ask the child, question the child, let the child come up with an answer. Is he saying it is invisible color, or is he saying it is in transparent color? What is his answer? What are his thoughts? Right? And then, is the sky always blue? Is the sun always red or orange? Just go out around sunset time, 6 or 6:30 or something like that. You will see so many different shades of red, orange mixed together from the sun. Just stay there, stare at that sun, and even invite your child and let him first absorb where are these colors coming from. How are these colors created? How did this crayon get this color? And then let him color the sun's red or orange or pink or whatever it is. Is the sky only blue? Just go around, go on a walk, go for a walk with your child. Go for a walk at at different times in the day. Early morning, a little into morning, say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and then maybe afternoon, and then say evening, and then say late evening or just beginning of night, right? And then just sit there along with your child and look at the sky, gaze at the sky, and ask your child, what are the colors that you can see from the sky? It is not always blue. It is not always blue. And there are different shades of any color that this nature is actually exhibiting, right? Yeah. So the question is this: when you are asking the child to color a specific object with the same color, how can the child think outside of this mandated color? You remember all these, you know it or not, all these hybrid vegetables with new colors, say in capsicum, and even hybrid fruits and all of them that have new colors. They've not, they didn't, they were created by scientists. For a person to create an already existing fruit or an already existing vegetable in different colors, that person had to first think beyond the mandated color. And when your child is not given the time to think beyond whatever is mandated, color the tomato with just red, right? When your child is not given the time, space, and freedom to think beyond the instructions, how can your child, who is actually already having the quality to think beyond whatever he's seeing, he already has this quality. It is just that when the child is following instructions, all these qualities are killed, right? All these qualities are killed. And if, again, these scientists, whoever has created these hybrid fruits and vegetables with new colors, they are only the top 2% or top 5% of the entire population, right? If you want your child to stand there at the top 2% or top 5% who is actually creating new things, your child needs to be given the time, space, and freedom to explore at this phase in his life, at this point in his life. Otherwise, these qualities that are already existing, the exploring quality, the experimenting, curiosity, creativity, your child already has that. You need not run behind classes, creative classes, summer creative classes. Oh my God, children are coloring so well. Let me also put my child into it. Just give him the time, space, and freedom to create new things. Okay, why is there a reason for your 2.5-year-old to color between the lines? Maybe because one big reason, maybe because there are coloring competitions everywhere. In every gated community, at every age group, there are coloring competitions. And every school, there are coloring competitions. In every event, there are coloring competitions. New Year event, Children's Day, whatever kind of events, local events that are happening, there are coloring competitions for every age of the child. And when can your child get a reward for you? When can your child get that 10 on 10 for you? When can your child get that A+ for you? Only when your child colors between the lines. Only when your child uses the mandated color, the appropriate color for that object, right? So yes, there is a pressure of all these coloring competitions and all running around you. But what do you want for your child is the question. You as a parent, Do you want your child to follow these instructions and do what is asked to be done? Or do you want to give him the time, space, and freedom, right? Time, space, and freedom to think on his own, to be with his own creativity and do it and experiment it or explore it in the physical space. What do you want for a child? Right now, let me just narrate a real life situation, a real life example of a 3-year-old. Yes, a little less than 3-year-old actually, of a 3-year-old child. So let me just tell you what happened there, right? So what happened was the child just had a coloring book. The child was not the child had a coloring book, and yes, there was a picture beside it with some the usual colors, right? The trees green has green leaves and all. And remember, trees have various different colors of leaves. There are some trees that have maroon leaves. There are some trees that have, I don't even know what the color, what the name of that color is, right? So maybe your child can create his own name. Just go around and look at the pots and at the plants and the trees that are around you, or maybe just on the internet. There are so many different colors of leaves, not just green everywhere, right? Yeah. So coming back to the real life example, what happened was the child had a picture that was already colored, and there was another blank picture that the child just started to color. So the child was on her own, right? There were no instructions. Nobody was mandating her with, yes, do this, do that, whatever, however it is here, then do this and all, right? Again, there is no, like the usual thing when any parent or you insist your child to color between the lines, color neatly, use the right colors, appropriate colors, you have something else in mind. Oh my god, my child needs to get 10 on 10 for this drawing competition, or she has to get the reward, or I can show this, and you will definitely show this to all the guests that come to my home, to my parents-in-law. I'll take pictures and put it on Facebook, I'll take pictures and put it on Instagram, right? Yes, all these things happen, they're all common. But just give your child the time, space, and freedom to be on his or her own and see what is the magic that your child can create. So yes, coming back to the real life example, the child has just started to color this picture, the blank picture. Okay, the parent was not around, she was on her own. So yes, after some time, the parent just walked by, and the parent just got seated beside the child, along with the child. Then the child was just deeply engrossed in coloring. Then the parent has noticed that the child has colored, there are 3 trees, okay? 3 trees and a building as well, a part of a building. So 2 trees were colored brown. And the third tree she just started to color with green. And the building was colored with black and brown mixed together, both of them, right? And the parent just wondered and asked, oh my God, this tree is brown in color. Why is this tree brown in color? Can you tell me? And so, yeah, a question for you. If you present this picture with trees colored in brown color and building colored in blackish brown color, and you present it for a drawing competition, for a coloring competition, or just in your class, in your child's classroom, if your child does this, are you okay with it? And will your child get 10 on 10 for that? Will your child get a reward for it? I'm sure, I believe it is a no. There are other people who colored even more better between the lines using the right colors. So obviously, even the person who is actually giving the reward should actually think about it. Oh my God, this fellow, this guy or this girl did it so well. I think this person deserves a reward, not this one. That's okay. That's totally fine. But creativity is not about rewards. Creativity is not about rewards. It is about giving the time, space, and freedom to the child to come up with his or her own thinking. Now, when the parent asks the child, why are these trees brown in color? The child replied, what did the child reply? Just listen to this closely, okay? The child replied, there was a fire in this forest, and these trees caught fire. They are burning. That is why I colored them brown. The leaves are falling off. Okay, and why is this third tree colored in green? Right? Then the parent was, I mean, if there is a fire, then she can color all of them with brown, right? What's the big deal of coloring 2 trees with brown and another tree with green? What's the reason? So yes, why is a third tree colored in green? To this, the child replied, well, these 2 trees caught fire, and as these 2 trees were catching fire, there was a big wind that blew and took the fire in the opposite direction. Hence, the third tree got saved, and hence this third tree has green leaves. This third tree still has green leaves. So she had so much of imagination in her brain to actually use those colors in that picture, on that picture. If any child, it's not about the child again, it's not about that child, it's not about the parent. Question is, how are you speaking to your child? How are you, what are you wishing for from your child? Right? If is your child given this time, space, and freedom to think, to create so much of story about a black and white picture? Is your child given this time? Or maybe hurry up, you don't get so much time in the drawing competition, you have to finish it up early, right? Again, it depends on the environment that you are creating for your child. But remember, everything is in your hands. So the point is this. So yes, children as young as even 2-year-olds or 1.5-year-old, right when the child has is holding the crayon, children are asked to, or are expected to, memorize the colors and use the appropriate colors in their coloring books, coloring exercises, and they are also sent for the various competitions where yes, they are supposed to be doing in a certain way, and they are being tuned to do that way. And suddenly when your child is 10-year-old or 12-year-old or maybe 20-year-old or 18-year-old, 20-year-old, we keep, maybe your child or you, both of you, we keep thinking about, why am I not thinking out of the box? But who put the box? Who put the box in the child's mind? It was the adult who put this box. Sky needs to be blue, water needs to be blue, right? Do you know, are you sure if water is always blue? Water is actually transparent, but it is represented as blue. But again, are you sure that water can always be represented as blue? Just go to a beach. It depends on the quality or the color of the soil that is present beneath the water surface, which is seen through the water, right? If it's a muddy beach, the water is seen in brown in color, right? In some beaches, the water is seen in whitish, creamish white color, right? So there are so many different shades that are actually appearing in nature. And if you leave your child alone, even your child will come up with many new shades about any item that's actually present around him, right? So the box that their child has been carrying since infancy, toddlerhood, and the child is now an adult, teenager, and then adult, the box is still being carried by your child, by your adult child now. That box was implanted or installed by the adult. And then we are wondering, thinking out of the box, go think out of the box classes, creativity classes. But the child never had a box for himself. The infant never put a box on his thinking, right? And then now we are struggling to teach children how you can think out of the box, how you can think out of the box, create thinking projects. But your 2-year-old or 2.5-year-old, when he was playing with mud, he was already thinking out of the box. Your 4-year-old, 4.5-year-old doing something with the cardboard or thermocol, he was already thinking out of the box. Maybe it didn't make sense to you. It was senseless. It was irrelevant. It was wasting time. It was killing your child's homework time, right? All these things, all these were your challenges. But again, the question comes back to you. What are you doing to your child? What do you want for your child? That is something that you have to be aware of. And that is only when you are aware of your purpose. What do you want? Why do you want? Only then can you bring any kind of different thinking in your parenting journey. And when you bring in a different thinking, it's not only that you win, but even your child wins. Cheers. Bye-bye.